myself, answering questions. My name is Shane Groves. My nickname is Little Bear. I was on the streets starting from the age of 16 until I ended up in young offenders jails, and then back on the street, and then in and out of federal institutions for quite a few years. I was born in Toronto, Ontario. I became homeless because of the physical and mental abuse that I was receiving from group homes and foster homes. And I didn't like how they were treating me, even though I was misbehaving, but I didn't know at that age. So I just kept AWOLing from the group homes and foster homes. I've been living off and on the streets from the age of 16 until I was I'm now 41 years of age. Do I like being on the streets? Oh, here. No, I didn't like being on the streets, but I didn't mind being on the streets because of the fact that I kind of interacted with the community, kind of understand the environment, learn new things. That's completely opposite than what you learn in school. I'm on OW, which is Ontario Works in Toronto, Ontario. I get a total of $665 a month. I'm allowed a maximum of up to about $500 based on my rent. Then I'm left with a little bit of money to get bus pass, maybe some food, maybe my cigarettes. I don't do drugs and alcohol. I have no addictions. I have no mental health problems that I believe I have. I've been told that I have ADHD, and I have a problem with learning of spelling and memorizing words and reading long periods of sentences. My shelter that I was recently at for about 4 months is Seton House on George Street by George Street in Dundas. The housing worker there did not help me other than just give me a housing listing to call housings. What was my reasons for staying on the street? Couldn't find work because of my criminal background, and no one really wanted to trust a homeless person in their establishment or even in their home until recently because I'm in a rooming house. No, I wasn't satisfied with the resource centers, shelters, and OW, because all they were doing is just giving me rental forms, which was the same list that I get from all the other places and resource centers. And when I looked on Kijiji, it's pretty much the same, just not as detailed, but it's, where the location is, the person's name and contact, and phone number. I have many work experiences in welding, auto body shop, mechanical work, painting, auto body shop, small engine repair. Got a few certificates, but it obviously doesn't implement here in Ontario because it was federal work from the federal institutions. And my grade 11 education obviously doesn't do me any good here in the community either to get back into school. And I'm old enough to no longer receive maturity credits. So I'd have to go back basically to an adult learning center. Do I want to go back to school? Eventually, yes. But I would probably prefer work over school because then at least I have a constant income. And then eventually slowly get back into schooling. Do I have a criminal background? Oh, yes, I do. Too long to list. So long that I can't even get a federal pardon for my criminal convictions. I can apply for a small waiver based on certain offenses, based on the job that I might want to be applying to. No, I can't be a banker or a police officer or a security guard, a Brinks officer, TTC, or anything that's dealing with union, I can't work with. Do I have any family. I have a father that's living in Mississauga who's permanently in a wheelchair. He's living in a housing that's in Mississauga with March of Dimes helping him, so I can't reside with him. And the law also states is that I cannot live with him because I'm on OW and he's on ODSP and old age pension. So he can't help me in any way, shape, or form. Why is it hard to find a place? Because no one in the community wants to trust a homeless person to come into their home that they own. It would be nice if they actually gave a person a chance to come and see the place, get to know the person, and then maybe decide to do a rental form if the person's serious enough to get the rental form and get the welfare on the go to pay the rent and show that he's a sincere person who is willing to take care of his room, not be messy, not bring over homeless people. I understand the situations, but you have to give somebody a chance to get to know them, talk to them a bit, let them see the place. Am I currently on the Toronto Community Housing List? Yes, I have applied for the Toronto Community Housing. I believe the wait list is up to about 7 years for a male, single male. The time that I was on the streets in December, and prior to that, from April last year of 2015 till recently, of February 1st when I got my place of this year 2016, I've received not a lot of gift packages because I told them I already have a few. To be quite honest, I don't think the gift packages actually help the individual. It might be a little bit of a band-aid to keep his hands warm with maybe about 5 gloves that he puts on because they're all from Dollarama and the Tukes. Socks are okay, underwear is okay, toothbrush, toothpaste is okay. Body wash is okay based on if the guy's in the shelter or not. He would like to have his own shampoo. But in reality, I don't think the gift packages are much help because of the fact there's too many people giving them out and too many different groups and religious groups that are doing it. Whether you're a residential group put together and you're doing it, there's too many people of doing it. So I would like to suggest that maybe they come together and maybe get a fund together in a bank account of some sort and actually start saving the funds in a bank account so that when someone you meet on a constant basis and get to know the individual to try to help the person find a place, or if they need to help pay the last month's rent because welfare only gives it every 2 years based on the circumstances of an emergency. I had to fight for my legal right to get my housing stabilization fund from the housing worker because of the fact that the last month's rent, they said that in the beginning I was incarcerated for 3 months because I was out looking for a place to live. And I got arrested because someone thought I was breaking into houses and so forth. So I lost 3 months of possibly finding a place, but I ended up getting a place. So, but I lost the money, and then they said that they wouldn't. I wasn't eligible for last month's rent for the housing money because of the fact that I already received it within that year. But I fought for it, and I ended up getting it. No, I don't do any drugs or alcohol. I don't have any habits of any kinds other than smoking cigarettes. I don't sleep on the streets, but I have stayed up several nights off and on throughout the week at McDonald's, Tim Hortons, or just stay up all night wandering the streets because of the fact that the shelters may be full, or I just can't get back into the shelter because they have a curfew. But no, I didn't sleep on the streets. I actually have my own room. I don't couch surf. I actually pay my own rent for my room, which is $500. Not bad place. I like it. The residents are nice to me, and I'm nice to them. The landlord's pretty cool. And I got that place through John Howard, which is up on Coxwell and Danforth area, 777 Danforth Road, or Danforth Avenue, sorry.